3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Tucked In Podcast with me, your host, Romeo, and my host, Aran. And I know it's been a long time, but we're back for episode 3.
It has.
Yeah?
Long holiday.
Yeah, long holiday.
4 weeks just at home.
Yeah, so much has happened. New year. And today's a very special day, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it your birthday? No, I'm joking.
It's not my birthday.
No.
No, it could,
It is,
no. It's the inauguration of the 47 coming up.
It's Trump's inauguration.
Yeah, it's the inauguration of Trump, and so that's something exciting we're going to talk about in this podcast. And we're also going to talk about I've got my notes here actually.
What does it say? Geopolitics, all controversial stuff.
Yes, we're going to talk about Trump's inauguration, but more sort of we try to keep it kind of apolitical in this podcast.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of talk about.
Don't
Don't get cancelled. So it's more we're going to focus on sort of more of the philosophical aspects of like why is politics.
because that's more important than arguing for this side or that side at the end of the day.
Exactly. So why is the politics so polarized? And then we're going to talk about some of the issues going on in the Middle East, and that's close to your heart. So
Passion.
And then we're gonna talk about New Year's resolutions, 2025, what's going on with us in 2025, and what's gonna happen with this channel in 2025. So before we go any further, I want you to go click subscribe, and we're gonna be talking about some interesting issues which are quite opinionated issues. So feel free to comment and leave your opinion and let us know.
We know we've been inconsistent.
Yes,
but we've been on holiday.
Yeah, we've been inconsistent. We've been on holiday, so but you know we're back and we're ready. And well, Squid Game's coming out as well. Squid Game. Oh my god. I'm a legend.
Oh my god.
We're not doing that. But yeah. So okay, let's get started. So what have I written down? I've written Fort Bragg. Do you think that might get
Fort Bragg.
That's the place that
we're starting with the aliens.
Yeah, we're starting. Let's get right into it. Why not?
Juicy.
Why not? We're getting into it. So yeah, I wanted to actually bring this up because I was reading about. I was kind of we had this conversation a couple of days ago.
We did, yeah.
About conspiracies. What defines a conspiracy in your opinion? What defines a conspiracy?
Something. What was it? I said it was like a conspiracy is something where there's no evidence to. It's a claim that has no evidence for.
Right. So, but it's because we had a disagreement actually because I was you were saying that I believe too much in conspiracies.
No, wait, hang on. Let's move this here.
Yeah, you're gonna move it there. Okay. All right. Yeah. Should be good. I think. Is this picking up?
Is it? Maybe this has been pressed.
Yeah, right. That's fine. If not, we can always use this audio. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So yeah, because basically I was thinking about a lot of I've been quite into conspiracies recently. I've been watching loads of Joe Rogan. I'm not gonna lie, but but it's well, no, I mean, so some of the stuff he says is quite interesting. But yeah, you I know we had this agreement because you were saying that basically I shouldn't believe in all these conspiracies.
Yeah, because I think my argument was something along the lines of, if there's no evidence, it's a conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
So you might as well find some evidence, and then it's not even a conspiracy anymore. And if you don't find any evidence, I mean, the issue is if you say like, oh, the evidence has been hidden, then you basically have a way to make any claim you want about anything, and that it's infallible.
Right. Yeah. So, but then I think the issue. Okay, because what I was trying to say was that so for example the conspiracy I wanted to bring up here because we talked about some stuff that I don't think we can talk about. The lizard people? We're not going. But I want to talk about. So there's one conspiracy in particular, which the idea that the person who attempted to assassinate Trump and the person who drove his car into, I think it was people in New Orleans or Orlando, somewhere in North America, and the person who blew himself up in the Tesla truck are all connected to this place called Fort Bragg, which is this military base that works on mind control technology, right? So, and yeah, you can do your own research and comment what you think, but there's not that much available to access online for that particular conspiracy theory, let's say. And then so I think using your logic, you would say that so that's something that is infallible. I can't confirm.
Because at the end of the day, why would you believe it if there's no evidence?
I believe
something has to be guiding your
so
opinion.
this is the issue, because I think this is what I was saying. People know about very controversial figure. Let's just do it all today. Like, you know what? It's controversial figure Alex Jones, very controversial figure, known for his denial to Sandy Hook's, which wasn't great, but I've listened to him speak. He makes sense on other issues, but he's a very controversial figure. I think I agree. I think he's quite. I think with people like him, I think they're quite difficult to listen to because they're very brash. They're very harsh. They're very. It's very. They don't mince their words. You know what I mean. So, but anyway, so I listened to some stuff he was saying, and so he talks a lot about conspiracies. But I think the idea. See, here's my issue, right? Because what he mentioned, and this is something I believe to be true as well, is that a lot of sort of the reason why we have conspiracy theories is basically that there's a lot of information that is not made available to the public on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? So it's difficult. So for example, I think he said one thing which was proven to be true later on. I think it was to do with Bohemian Grove or that's another thing. But anyway, basically he made some claims about this sort of society in America of the rich elite that he snuck his way into one of their meetings, and he said that they did very heinous things like child sacrifice, all some crazy stuff like that. And that, while that hasn't been fully proven, it has been proven to be true that there is this society that is involved in things like adrenochrome, harvesting.
But what's funny is, after we had this conversation, I actually went home and I did some searching, and if I can find it, there's articles already about Bohemian Grove from 1989.
Yeah, this is when I think this is
before.
Yeah, this is before him.
Alex Jones. And it was already known that these rich people were meeting up here.
But
see, that's
okay, true. But it
seems
wasn't
so controversial. And I agree, it's weird. They do some weird stuff, but it was already known.
Okay, but I think it was already known, but it wasn't known who was involved.
Alex Jones. No, it was. It was a lot of the people involved were known. Henry Kissinger.
Kissinger, yeah, he's a big.
Many
big
of the big people. What is it? Tom Johnson. It talks about Reagan and Nixon.
But what does it talk? It talks about how they basically just have this is what you're saying to me, that they have like it was a gentleman's club that is like involved.
Yeah.
But then I'm saying that it's more sinister than that. That's what he was trying to explain.
I know. So I'm saying the difference between what was already... thing is, people think that this place wasn't known until Alex Jones uncovered it, but that's just not true. Okay. It was known.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then Alex Jones claimed that they were doing some crazy things, and the problem is that there's no proof for that.
Okay, but I think so. This is the thing, because with conspiracy theories is that it comes from a place where there is. Okay, so let's say a lot of these conspiracy theories involve people who are part of the upper rich elite class who when you have that sort of money, right? And this is proven by Elon Musk, for example. You then actually control what is being said about you. Elon Musk controls one of the largest social media, I think the largest social media platform. So essentially, he actually controls the media. He controls.
But how do you know that there's people behind the scenes who control the media? Unless the media told you that.
Well, I mean, no. I'm saying the media. That everybody knows that there's big donors who are involved in political parties.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is when you say conspiracy theory, what I'm trying to say. So so when I believe in conspiracy theory, I believe in that there is something more to an issue that is presented because of the fact that the people who are involved in said issue have control over the media and what is being said about them, so that they are able to withhold information from the public. So that's why I said when you say it's a conspiracy because you can't prove it to be true, I'm saying that is the point of a conspiracy. That's why I believe in some conspiracies, because it's on purpose that you can't prove it to be true.
Okay, but what made you decide that it was on purpose? That it was
because there's motive for them to. So let's, for example, the idea that aliens have visited the Earth.
Mm.
Like there's the crash landing in Pennsylvania, crash landing in Colorado, Area 51, all that sort of stuff is they never really went properly public with they never went public. There was never a press conference that there's a crashed aircraft, and that's done on purpose to not cause panic in the population, right? So what I'm saying is that and there's this idea that there's this deep state who are involved in creating like the Blackbird, the planes, and even those. I want to talk about this later. Actually, the UFOs people have been seeing.
Yeah.
There's this technology that is not revealed to the public by the military or the higher ups.
But see, this is the problem I have with conspiracies is it makes reality sound more sinister than it is. So, for example, let's say this military aircraft thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's say they're testing a new aircraft and they don't want anyone to know about it. Why is that? If you think about what I just said, that's not that crazy, right? They just don't want people to know they're testing some new technology. They don't want the Russians to get a hold of it.
No,
right?
yeah.
But then the way you talk about it, it makes it sound much more juicy.
Yeah,
I think that's the issue I have with conspiracy theories. It makes everything sound more juicy than it really is.
I think I agree with you. To be honest, I agree with you. But I think also sometimes I think the problem with maybe the mindset of saying if you can't prove it to be true, then you have issues which are sort of gone under the radar, right? And so I don't want to be blind to things that are happening in front of me. I think there is definitely this group of people who are trying to have control over the general population. You don't want to be blind to that, in my opinion, just because you can't prove it.
But then the thing is, where did this idea come from?
I mean, it's I guess it's like just a historical, like it's always happened throughout history.
There's always people at higher and lower levels of societal hierarchies, right? But then again, when I say it doesn't sound that interesting. But then when you say there's elites, it just sounds more juicy than
maybe
really is.
Maybe I'm guilty of. I don't know. When you watch, I feel like maybe there's people who watch Joe Rogan or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds fun to believe in.
It's fun.
All this.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But then it's like when you actually look at it, like, hang on.
Yeah.
It's not as intriguing.
This stopped recording, by the way. My Jesus. Should I start recording?
Yeah, just restart recording. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, we'll just.
It's already synced, so that way we'll just have to snip out. But
Okay,
did you press it?
Yeah, I didn't press it. It just stopped. I don't know why.
Oh.
Okay, we'll do a little clap. Okay, it's fine. Doesn't matter.
No,
but
it doesn't matter. Continue.
This is how podcasts work. All right, there's going to be technical issues, but
yes, technical.
no, I think I guess maybe I'm guilty of just buying into like the sensationalism that some of those podcasters or whoever do.
That's the word that I was looking for.
Yeah,
sensationalism.
Yeah. But I think there is some truth in some of those issues, though.
I think there probably is.
Like the idea.
See why not.
I've looked into it. Like the idea. Like a lot of research that goes into help, like the dangers of certain chemicals put in food.
Yeah.
Like the Red 40.
But see,
asterism.
the thing is, I personally don't even think those are conspiracies.
No, but it's a conspiracy that for a long period of time, the biggest donors to that research were actually the companies who were involved in using those chemicals.
Yeah, but that's happened with so many things, like tobacco.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. I agree, but I think it's just...
Even alcohol. One of our lectures, it said that drinkware, that thing it says on every advert of drinkware, the drinkware is funded by the major alcohol companies.
Yeah, no, that's my point, because they want to control what it says
people's
about...
perception of their product.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. But I don't know. I just I mean, I think maybe I need to take a break from all those conspiracies. But
this is the issue as well. When you consume certain media, you don't realize that you start thinking differently about different topics. And then that's my question to you: is like, those ideas you have, where do they come from?
I don't know. I think cause sometimes it gets very depersonalization going. Like when you believe in all these conspiracy theories, you kind of don't believe that your reality, your perception of reality becomes very warped because you think everybody is part of some conspiracy or the other. These conspiracies that half the population aren't even real people and whatever this AI
the NPC.
I mean I know it sounds stupid, but there's maybe some proof of that. I don't know, but then you kind of
some proof of that.
I think there is, because the idea, like we spoke about this, a lot of people don't have critical thinking, and you could consider that as the lack of critical thinking actually
But
proof.
this doesn't make sense because surely, if this was a conspiracy, then why wouldn't people just be designed to have critical thinking?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. That's a good point. Some of the motivation for that, I don't understand. Maybe that's fair. I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess that's a conspiracy. I don't know, but I think moral of that little segment is what you said, which is I think if you have, it's about just seeking out information. Like if you think
Being careful with your epistemology.
That's I define that word actually.
Epistemology is the study. It's a type of philosophy. It's the study of knowledge.
Study. So be careful with your sources. If you know, like, don't take things for granted, basically.
Yeah.
Because I think it's something I'm guilty of. I'm sure a lot of people are guilty. Like if I see something, you know, that's online or whatever, and it's someone that I make, even if someone I like I think Joe Rogan can be funny sometimes. You know, Theo Von is a good one as well. I think he's quite funny. So I like the person, and so what they say, I think I'm more inclined to believe it because I like the person anyway.
This is kind of like, you know, when Akshay was here, he was talking about Fantano.
Yeah.
And music tastes, and then it influences people's judgment
because
of songs.
Fantano, I know people don't like Fantano, but I think he's a charismatic person. Clearly, he's got a big following. So whatever he says, people will sort of take that opinion because he's likable and they want to, you know, it's all like a psychological thing. But okay, let's move away from the conspiracies to something which isn't a conspiracy, which is, I mean, it's a fact that Donald Trump is being inaugurated today.
It'll be exciting, to be honest.
I wonder what time is it? It's literally right now, I think, to be honest. 1:55.
No, that's in America.
Yeah, but it's 1:55 our time.
Really?
The thing starts. I saw on YouTube.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
Maybe
as we talk,
I might when it reaches 1:55.
Pull it up.
Yeah,
pull it up.
Yeah.
1:55.
Yeah. So he's getting inaugurated, and you know, we could talk about what's bad about him, what's good about him, etc.
It's actually a very interesting thing.
Yeah, but I think I don't want to get too political, maybe, but I want at least let's see where we go.
I feel like we have to deconstruct this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it is a big event today, so, but I think let's start off with I wanted to kind of delve into the issue of why politics in general is. I feel like it's become trendy to be political nowadays.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, maybe because I was younger, so I wasn't as involved, but I think in general our world has become more political. Like everybody has an opinion about everything.
Yeah.
And that opinion is very strong, one way or the other. Right? I've noticed that. And Trump, I think, is a perfect example of that division in the world. Past couple of elections, especially with him involved, has been basically 50-50 everything.
Yeah.
Even the state level things that in the previous election, the state level issues they had, where I think there was some stuff about abortion was taken to the state where a couple of states had to vote on abortion laws, and other states had to vote on some other laws to do with immigration and climate change. Or I looked at the stats. Every single any vote I see nowadays is like 50. The number 50 is in the vote. It's like 50-50, 50-14, like 51-49.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very close. Everything across the board is very close. Huge issues like we had Brexit, you know, huge issues with political election, etc. have all been very, very close.
Yeah.
And so I want to kind of ask you, like, I don't know, what's your take on all this whole division?
Yeah, it's good that you asked me this because yesterday and today I was actually reading an article by the Carnegie Institute for International Peace, and it's about political polarization in the US. It said that one of the recent ideas about why there's this polarization is to do with identity politics, which is kind of what you're saying, right? Everyone, it's like it's trendy, so it's like a football team, right? It's like their party, a religion to them.
I know.
Whereas in the past, it was never like that, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons that is leading to all this division, right? And especially as people become less religious and, you know, all of that, you know, like there's less places to gain identity from, so then we end up having to get it out of politics and political views. You know, are you red, are you blue?
Yeah.
And in the US, it's obviously apparently, according to their research, the level of emotional division. So like, these people hate these people is basically the same in most countries.
Yeah.
But the difference is that in the US, it seems to be causing more problems in terms of political violence and undesirable
Yeah,
events.
yeah. I mean, we had the assassination attempts, etc.
Yeah.
But I think this is interesting. I think so. Would you say maybe that in a way, although it's divisive, although there's lots of political unrest, so to speak, in the world, would you say that's actually a positive thing that people are now actually very much involved in who's leading their life and they're taking control of these? You think that's a good thing or bad?
Identity, anything is not usually a good thing.
You don't think so?
Because identity and religion led to crusades.
Yeah, that's true.
Identity, investing your identity into something usually leads to violence because you have to defend that thing, right?
Yeah.
And so, no, I don't really think it's a good thing.
I mean, I don't know. See, this is the problem because I think a lot of people. You're right with the idea, like that's a good analogy, like the football team or whatever. I've seen. There's actually I want to talk about as well. This is not maybe a bit of a conspiracy, but anyway, the idea that like when I go on YouTube, I'll watch BBC, I'll watch Fox News, I'll watch everything. I try to keep like, my eyes open to all sides of everything. When I look at the comments, I see like some comments like, okay, Trump said this and I don't like this because of this reason, and that's okay, a good comment, fine.
Oh, it's about the comments.
Yeah, I'll go into that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, but some of the comments are just like, I love X politician and he's the best, and it's like I feel like people don't really. It's like you're right about the identity politics. People don't really actually have a reason for liking who they like. It's just sort of like it's like if you ask someone why do you like a certain football team, they'll just a lot of people. It's just because of who they grew up with that team. That's where they come from.
Do you want to know a worrying fact?
Yeah.
Their research, again, this Carnegie Institute thing I keep referring to.
This is good. We should link this stuff.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. This research said that people were more willing to change their opinion for the sake of staying with their party affiliation than changing their party because it didn't fit their views.
Wow. That's crazy.
So
and I believe
it
that.
really is like a football team.
And I believe that. I believe a lot of people, I know people who are very, very passionate about either side of the spectrum. And I know that, I mean, both sides of the spectrum, they flip-flop a lot on issues. And no one really seems to change their mind, actually. I mean, it's like people are like, that's fine. If my politician was supportive of this issue. Like, I think, especially in America, like, Kamala Harris flip-flopped a lot on Palestine, Israel. But it didn't really affect... I mean, she lost, I guess. But it didn't... I mean, it didn't really affect, like, her core supporters were still okay.
No, because her core supporters were on the left, and they know she's on the left, and so Trump is bad, and put two and two.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But, that's interesting one. I don't know. So I want to talk about the comments thing quickly. Just... I think that there's another reason why everyone's so divided now, and I don't know if this is on purpose or if this is just how the algorithm works, but everybody lives in their own echo chamber.
Yeah.
Whereas, so when I'm on YouTube, for example, and I look at comments, and obviously I have my own political view, I have my own opinion, right? I mean, everybody does. So that opinion, and I guess you could, obviously, so I'll click maybe like a 60-40 will be like 60% videos I click which align with that opinion, right? And so I'll interact with those videos. So I interact with that, with content related to that political opinion, for example. Then even if I go on videos that are maybe on the other side, all the comments will still be supportive of my... the algorithm will still be supportive of my political opinions. The algorithm is basically understood.
It's ingenious.
Yeah,
it's helping you hate watch.
Yeah, and it's just... I'm never really able to actually get information outside of that little bubble. Like, once it kind of understands or decides what your affiliation is, so to speak, or what your opinion you have, right? And let's say you're somebody who's anti-abortion and you've watched a couple of anti-abortion videos. It will just decide that you're anti-abortion, and then it will feed you content that is anti-abortion. And even if it feeds you content that isn't anti-abortion, let's say it's pro-abortion,
it makes sure that you hate it.
Yeah, the top... Because it does it by top comments, right? It doesn't do it by... And top comment isn't in order of likes.
No one really knows how it decides that.
It's just top for you. It's like what it thinks you should be. And so everybody lives in their own echo chamber, right? Because I was shocked about certain beliefs that people had. Like, one in particular is like the voter ID or something. Like, I think it's quite an obvious issue that there should be voter ID. Our country has it. Every country has it, right?
Yeah, the UK actually introduced it recently.
Yeah, like, it just prevents...
But this becomes a political issue as well, because now it's, for some reason, people on the left know that it disadvantages them, and people on the right know it advantages them, so you lose sort of the actual practicality of the law. It's just about, are you on the left or are you on the right? Do you support this? Do you not? rather than actually thinking for yourself whether something's a good idea or not. Even in this country, for example, during this election, the Tories really wanted voter ID to be put in place, and the Lib Dems were like, no, it disadvantages the poor, etc., etc. So it just all seems to be split on ideological
Yeah,
grounds.
exactly. But and also I know there was a vote held recently. I think it was banning, as contentious issue I know, but banning transgender athletes in women's sports. So men who had transitioned into.
Where was this vote?
In America.
Oh, in like Congress.
Yeah, Congress.
In
And I think it was just passed in favor of banning. I'm pretty sure this is correct, by the way. And in favor of banning.
Before this election?
No, just now, like a couple of days ago.
So is that including the new Republican-controlled?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me just check. It's vote.
So I'm not sure how it actually works. So has the House already changed hands, or?
Let me see. Yeah. What is really behind the House bill? It's House bill to ban transgender athletes from school sports, from students. So this is, I think, they've already transitioned power. 'Cause I think they do it before like today is when the president transitions, but I think they've done the Supreme Court already. This is just nonsense. What the fuck? Okay. House votes to ban transgender students from the new House made transgender students in sports one of its first priorities. The bill's path in the Senate is clear.
Paywall.
Why is everything a paywall? Oh, it passes. So House passes ban on transgender. So the House on Tuesday passed a Republican measure. I mean, maybe it hasn't shifted yet, but it's a Republican bill. Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. So
it doesn't allow transgender athletes.
It doesn't.
Okay.
So to me, like, I don't know. I don't want to get political, but I'm struggling so hard not to get political here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think with an issue like that, for example, right? I don't want to speak for other people, but I think to me, and I think to a lot of people, I think the majority of people, it makes sense to ban transgender. Because I think the whole point really of in the past, the whole point of it's about having equality in sports, right? We have women's and men's sports. Like recently, there's been more uptaking in, or like it's been more, popularized of like the women's, like WNBA, women's football, etc. Right? So, and that's good. There's equality in sports. Like everybody's able to get a fair chance in playing sport. It doesn't matter what gender you are, and I think that's great. And I think the issue with having people who are like, I'm very supportive of people who are transgender, right? But I think, if you issue with having people who are transgender in women's sports is that kind of takes away from the equality. Like the whole point of having women's sports is so that we have equality. Like anyone can do what they want to do, right? It's not like nothing in life is unattainable because of the gender you're born as, right? That's the whole point. So having people who have biological advantages, it's undeniable biological advantage. Someone who's a man then it becomes a woman. In women's sports just removes that equality entirely. I think you would agree with that. I think anyone would agree.
I'm not. I probably would have supported this bill if I was voting in the House.
Yeah, like banning it.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Because if you think about it, right, people are going to see this, and then people who are on the left are going to disagree with you, and people who are on the right are going to agree with you.
I don't. Maybe this is why we have
because
comments.
What else is a human being supposed to do?
But I'm saying, like, when you look at the bill, right? I looked at who voted for each side.
Yeah.
It was all Republicans voted for passing the bill. All the Democrats, without fail, voted against the bill. And it's just like, I don't really know, because some of these Democrats, I feel like
they all vote along party lines.
Yeah, but it's so frustrating.
And
it's so frustrating.
It's actually rare that they don't. So you know the assisted dying bill in the UK. We learned about that recently, right? Yeah. You know how in this vote, they were told to not vote along party lines. They were told to vote for their own personal beliefs, and that's what actually happened. Like people from all sides were sort of voting for different things. Yeah. That's an expression of people's actual beliefs. But in politics, you don't get that because. This person, they're a Democrat, they're a Republican, they were paid probably, millions by lobbies to be there, right? Yeah. They were chosen by lobbyists and their own party to be there. They had to win a bunch of primaries, etc., etc. And so if they don't vote on party grounds, they essentially risk being kicked out.
I know, it's just...
And they will be replaced. They will be replaced with someone who will vote on party grounds. So it's unfortunate, but the way the system works, especially in the US, is built to facilitate a government that is divided essentially completely by party and ideology.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I just find it very frustrating because it's a shame because I feel like it
is a shame. Yeah.
and it's also I think it's not a very good. The whole point of politicians is to represent the public, right? And I feel like it's not a good representation because
No.
like I don't vote. I don't hold beliefs based on party lines. Like, I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
I've beliefs from all over the political spectrum, right? Because I've no affiliation to them. It's just like so I want my politician who's meant to be representing me to not care about party lines and just have their own opinions, right? Like that's the whole point, I don't know. It's just that's why I actually want to get into politics, to be honest with you. That's why I'm doing global health. As my
yeah, politics is good, and people who are able to think more deeply, I want to say like we're doing now, need to be able to come in, to not rescue, but to sort of help evolve the system.
Yeah, the
beyond
very
what it's
dated.
currently
Yeah,
at.
it's a very dated system. Yeah. Well, so what did we even start that with? What was it called?
We started with conspiracies, then we came to Trump's inauguration.
Oh yes, okay. Trump's inauguration. A lot of people hate Trump.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But a lot of people love Trump as well. I mean, it's pretty much 50-50.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting. I mean, I wonder, like, because obviously a lot of assassination attempts. I don't know if all of those attempts are even true. I think the one.
Yeah, that could be a conspiracy.
Here's a conspiracy I have, right? I think the one where the I don't know his name anymore. But the guy who like went on the roof and tried to shoot
Thomas Matthew.
Yeah, I think that could have been faked, to be honest. But no,
I was actually thinking about this. I was like, what if he hired that guy and he was like some elite sniper and he deliberately shot him?
No, not even that, because all you see is Trump doing this in the video, right?
Yeah.
He could have had, they have. This is a segue. This is a clever segue by me.
Yeah.
They have the same thing in Squid Game.
Oh, okay.
Basically, when they shoot the contestants who lose, they load the guns with like these like red liquid pellets. So it looks like when I don't know if people have watched Squid Game. I'm sure a lot of people watching this have watched it. But when they shoot it, like the blood splatters, so it looks like they've been actually shot.
Wait, so did they not actually die in the like actual?
They don't die in real life.
No, I know.
What?
No, I know.
I
meant like in the show is the truth that none of the people actually die, or
no they die.
Do you mean in like the real life actual filming of Squid
Game?
Yeah,
this filming.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like they discovered that no one actually died and it was all fake.
So my co-host over here thinks that no one actually. Squid Game's a real game.
No. I mean the opposite. I mean even in the show, like the people don't actually die.
My leg is cramping. No, the the people die in the show. Like no, but I'm saying the way they filmed it is like instead of like back in the I don't know, people would just have like the
yeah I know that's classic and common to all movies and TV shows.
Right. So but anyway, so they have these pellets would have this red liquid in it, right?
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is this is my theory. This is my own conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I think the guy purposely missed Trump anyway, and then Trump pretended like he shot him, and he had his pellet in his sleeve, went like this on his ear, which is why there's no scar on his ear, right? Again, the chance of that guy missing him from that range is 0, right? Even if, that guy went to shooting ranges, apparently he's quite good at shooting, etc. So I think Trump had something in his sleeve and did this. As well. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the thing with politics now as well as politics is I wouldn't, honestly, okay, I think it's bad for him to if he did fake it, it's bad to fake it. But I think a lot of politics now is quite sort of cinematic. I think it's a lot of like the politicians are playing into social media. Like what would be viral on social media? What would get younger people involved? Politics is become more of a movie almost. Like they have movie stars.
It's become a source of entertainment. I agree.
Trump is a not a movie star, but he's what I mean. He's
he is a movie star.
In some capacity, right? Like he's television. He's a. It's like is Gordon Ramsay a real chef? No, he's like a.
Well, he is.
No, but he's more of a like he's a chef. He can cook. I mean, anyone can cook. I mean, he's.
Wow.
Okay, maybe I'm hanging. I've been to his restaurant.
You can't cook.
Okay. Okay, I've been to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. I think it's pretty overrated. Personally,
he doesn't make
the
food.
I love Gordon Ramsay, but
no,
I'm saying I know, but you have to admit that Gordon Ramsay is less of a chef and more of just like a personality, right?
No,
like,
but he can cook. I agree he is. I'm not denying
No,
that he
he
is
can,
personality,
he can cook. Fine, he can
but
cook.
he is really good at cooking. Like there was this clip where he like blindfolded managed to cut a chicken into just like all the right pieces. Seriously, I'm seeing
I
this.
wanna see this clip,
He's good. Like
Okay.
he's good at what he does.
Okay, I'm sure he is, but I just think but you understand what I'm trying to say? Isn't like, okay, sure, Trump is probably good at is a decent politician. Right?
Yeah.
But first and foremost, he's a television
Yeah.
actor, right? I mean,
I do get
Apprentice
that.
is scripted, I think, isn't it? Isn't it? Is Apprentice scripted?
Oh no, I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it is slightly scripted.
I don't think it is.
In fact, actually, I think the new season's coming out. Do you watch it?
No, I don't watch Apprentice.
You should watch it. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny, I think. I don't know. I like it.
Mm.
But yeah, that's my point. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see. Okay, now he's getting inaugurated. So that's my point. I think Trump. Not just Trump. To be honest, he's not only guilty of this. I think all politicians are guilty of focusing less on the politics and more on what on the personality. Like what instead of trying to get people to support them based on their views, people support them based on who they are.
Well, that's more Trump, really.
Okay, but I think that's also there's a lot of politicians.
Like,
Well, people have copied Trump. Like, what's that guy in Argentina?
oh yeah. But it's either Trump or people who've copied him.
Yeah, maybe. But then, like I'm saying, I'm saying people have copied him because his formula works. Right? He won twice.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you say it works, what do you mean?
As in, like, this idea of getting people to basically support you rather than your... Like, because Trump is an individual.
I guess we're kind of back to identity politics.
Right, yeah, I guess so. So he pioneered that then, I think, maybe.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, yeah. I think as for... Maybe this kind of gets into the question of, was it a good thing that he won?
Here's what I will say, okay? And I'm somebody who, you know, I agree with some things, I disagree with some things. I'm very all over the place politically, right? But I think... here's what I think. Okay, here's what I think. I think it's good that for the first time in a while, like in the recent decades, so in America, all three positions of power are basically held by one political party. So what that means is that political party can actually, well, maybe they won't, and this is just a problem with politicians, but potentially that political party will actually be able to do what they said they were going to do with very little opposition. And so it's maybe not in the right place, but at least the country and maybe the world as an afterthought will go in a direction. Will actually go somewhere rather than, you know, people saying they're going to do this and then that thing doesn't get passed, and then it does get passed, but the next president removes it and you get nowhere, and we go absolutely nowhere. Yeah. At least I think it's positive that so the Republican Party is able to potentially go somewhere. Like, is actually able to take the country in a direction. Maybe a lot of people don't like the direction. A lot of people love the direction, but it's able to go in a direction, and I think that's actually positive, even if you are on the other side of the spectrum, because you have something to work with rather than you just have this, I don't know, cesspool of ideas which have just never gone anywhere. And that might, so even actually this could be a positive thing for people for people who are Democrat, you know, in America, because they actually have an idea of where the country's going and they can prepare for where it's going. But this will also be a litmus test, I think, in a way. This is actually, you know what, I actually think it's a positive thing, because it'll be a litmus test for what these politicians are actually about as well, because I think a lot of times politicians aren't able. So presidents, even Trump in 2016 said he was going to do a lot of things which he landed up not doing, right? And then people that defended him, you could defend him and say, oh, because the Senate at the time or the House was controlled by Democrats, they did not pass many of what he wanted to pass, and so fine, okay, he couldn't do what he wanted to do, basically. So now this will be a litmus test for seeing whether is he actually a man of his word? Does he talk the talk? Does he walk the walk? Or is he just like every other politician? I mean, or all politicians the same in the sense that they just speak a lot but don't actually do a lot, you know? So it'll be interesting to see, actually. I'm going to watch him closely and see what he does.
One example is actually that with this Israel-Palestine negotiation thing, we don't actually know who is responsible for the negotiations, because it could be Biden's team, but then Trump has tried to sort of frame it as he's the one who's responsible. So really, there's just no way to know. And, you know, but I looked at his record, and to be honest, in 2016 to 20, he didn't really do that much. He decreased immigration a bit, but
The wall
there wasn't anything.
The wall was such a joke. I have to be honest.
There was nothing really fascinating that he did.
Yeah, nothing.
I hope it's
crazy.
different this time. I hope he does good
I
things.
think, having said that, I will say that I think he couldn't do much because he didn't have control of much.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah,
that
that's the
brings
point.
to me back to my own opinion, which is
Yeah.
we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I think people, like, obviously, you know, I think people are not going to be happy with the result, not going to be happy with the way the world maybe is going.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, and that's 50% of people, right?
Yeah.
So, but, you know, I think people should be hopeful. Like, even if you're not happy with him, or you're not happy with whatever, you're not happy, you know, you should be hopeful, because I think we at least have all of us will have an understanding of where we're going.
And I feel like if he hadn't won, we would have always been like, oh, what would have happened if
Yeah.
he'd won?
Because he had a lot. He's talked a lot. He's had a lot.
Yeah, he's talked a lot of big games.
Big
so
games,
it is
so-
time to see
Yeah.
if.
I mean,
He'll
they
do
even.
what he
I know
says.
this is crazy. They even have control of the media now with Elon Musk, so they
Oh,
can
yeah.
really pretty much do whatever they want, right? And that is scary for, you know, in some ways, but in some ways, some of the, you know, it could be exciting in a way, because then the country might actually go in a direction, right? This is not support for Trump or anything. This is more just sort of like on a philosophical way, like how does politics? Because if you look at countries like Singapore, for example, right? It's not a dictatorship, but it's quite a one party system, right?
Yeah,
It's like
but
everybody,
it does its job.
and it does, but it, you know, it went from.
But people don't want that in the
a
West.
Malaysian port.
They want to keep their liberal ideals, and I think that's fair.
No, but it's the same way if Kamala Harris won and she won all three of the Senate
Yeah.
House. I'd still be interested to see, because again, it'd be interesting to actually see where they go without any opposition, right? Like, where would they take the country and the world, right? Yeah, are we looking at?
We are.
Is it live? What are they saying? Who are these people?
I have no idea.
Wait, play it louder.
It's not. It's just started now. But
There's these two. Okay, he's watching inaugurations. These two people in these.
it's snowing in Washington right now.
No way.
These guys are so lucky. We get like
What?
1 ounce of
But
snow.
there's these two. Who are these two people in the red jacket? What is this?
No, they're just the hosts.
Is this a comedy or something?
No.
Well, this is why they
Joint Congressional Committee on Inauguration.
Why have they picked these awful red blazers? What are they doing?
Second time, I was here and it just continued.
Wow.
I'm glad to have you today. Some of you might recall
3:30.
So they're basically doing what we're doing.
Presidential parade is at 5:30. Interesting.
So yeah. Okay, so president, and I think it's indoors this year because they're scared of him being shot.
Wow. Major MAGA rally.
But see, you see with these rallies are like
The people don't reflect the actual voter base.
yeah.
These people are like on the extreme of the party.
Mm.
I guarantee that is like a tiny minority of
Yeah,
the average
Because
voter base.
if I supported a politician, I would never go to their rally. Like, I don't care that much. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I would never, even if I'd vote for whoever, fine. You know.
Yeah, and that creates a distorted view of
Yeah.
what you think a Trump fan looks like.
Yeah.
You know, it's like not every,
Yeah.
maybe only 1% of Trump fans look like the people in his
Yeah, 'cause
rallies.
I don't think anyone I don't know anyone who'd go to any political rally, right? I mean,
that's the thing. Another thing from the Carnegie Institute study
Yeah.
said that the actual demographic base of each party is not that different. You know, we're all just people, right? But then when you see these highly selected, extreme, like very activist groups, you get a distorted view, both from the right and the left, of course, of what the voter base of a party looks like.
yeah, you're right. But yeah, I think sort of just to what I think everybody should do, and this is something I think everybody should do, is yes, we all have different opinions, but I think it's very important for everybody to be open to listening to everyone and not being so. I think everyone is so stubborn and so closed off in their opinion, right? You know, if you
true.
everyone's like, okay, I support this party, and nothing you can tell me is going to change your mind, you know. And
I
it's
agree.
and I know it's not about changing people's minds, but it's just about, I think, being more. Everyone should be more. Just be more nice. Everyone should be kinder, and just like there shouldn't be this hate. This I feel like so much hate in the world, you know, and it's
Yeah,
such
no, I agree. And
silly
you know,
things.
you talk to certain people,
yeah.
and it's like, you ever talk to someone like that? I had a primary school friend like that, and it was just talking to him was like, especially in recent years, which is why I just don't talk to him.
Yeah.
it was always you 5 minutes and it's just like, oh, this thing is a problem in my life and this person
Yeah.
and these people.
Yeah, exactly. And it's always complaining, and I think everyone should be, like, if you come across someone who thinks differently, or let's just be open and try and understand why they think that way. Because I'll tell you, and I'll say this from experience. I'm somebody who I was maybe guilty of being that kind of person.
Yeah,
Who's very
it's hard. It takes maturity.
Stubborn. Like I would, this is why I believe you could shut up. You
Yeah.
can't say. But then actually, I kind of moved. I tried to move away from that, and especially with you, you've said things where I've thought differently. But then actually, after talking to you, I've actually changed my mind, because you've put the issue in a way that I don't know, the media, whatever, is unable to do so, and you've done it in a way that is more objective and objective or subjective. No, objective. And then so and it doesn't have to be this hateful, like, politics doesn't have to have this negative connotation to it. I think that's what I think. Everybody should be more open, because if it is 50-50, right, you're not going to go anywhere, right? We need to be able to agree on something, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I think everybody should do. That's my 2 cents. But I think also it's like I was excited to see what would happen in America. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited as well, to be honest.
I think because people, you can be depressed, and I know people posting on their story like, "Oh, I'm so sad." And it's like, I understand to a degree, but then
What
it's
is it
also
about Billie Eilish leaving?
That's
the
funny.
US?
Because she left the and it's like, okay, I understand, to a degree, but I think also it's like, let's just be more positive,
Yeah, I mean, come on, leaving your country. Where did she go to?
I think she went to Canada, but then they want to make Canada
They're
America
gonna annex
anyway.
Canada.
So she can't escape. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was actually surprising to me, because when he said that,
What did he actually say about Canada?
He wanted Canada to be the 51st state.
He said that.
Yeah, and then Justin Trudeau resigned. It's just so funny. It's like, okay, but I don't know. But the media didn't report that much on it. From what I saw anyway, I didn't really see it much. I think, to be honest, a lot of people on both sides probably be interested in that, actually, because there's a lot of money in Canada.
Yeah, but
oil, which
to
they're
just
not
say
doing.
you're gonna annex a neighboring country.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, I think that's why it hasn't been as much of a contentious issue as I think you'd imagine it to be.
But I think he knows as well what he's saying. He's very clever.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows how to calibrate everything he says.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, there's a reason he's saying that.
Yeah.
It's not just arbitrary, and I don't believe he's gonna actually do it. I think there's a clever reason though he's saying.
I think he said it because he must have gotten inside information that Trudeau was resigning, and so he knew Canada's at its weakest point when their 9-year prime minister's gone. He's probably just testing the waters, and I think they're very interested, because I think Trudeau banned them from drilling in the Northern Territories in Canada, because there's a lot of untapped oil there. So I think he's just trying to, which I think is understandable. He's trying to increase income to America, and that's why he's trying to get Greenland as well, for the same reason. So I don't know. I mean, again, it's interesting to see, because, for example, let's say he'd said this in 2016. It would never be passed. He would never even be able to do anything.
Yeah, it's just people's idea of what a politician can say and do is also shifted.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting to see. But yeah, I think everyone should just be positive, and
Then some people would say that's worrying.
I think it's worrying. No, I don't know if it's worrying, because I don't. Well, he did say he'd use military force. So I don't know. But is it worrying? I don't know. I think.
And this kind of has contributed to politics becoming more like a movie.
Yeah, because they're just saying absolutely crazy stuff. That when I saw that, I was like, there's no way this is real. This has to be AI or something. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess people are just. I'm desensitized to this stuff now. Like, when he says something like that, I'm just desensitized to it. But yeah, I guess I would. Yeah, is it worrying? Maybe it's worrying. But then, to be fair, Trump has a decent track record in, like, with one thing, whether you hate Trump, and I'm not the biggest fan of Trump either. But one thing is, maybe this is not even him, but I did like what he did with North Korea, South Korea. I thought him crossing the border.
Oh yeah, the thing is,
I thought that was actually pretty good.
I think, again, you have to be careful,
maybe.
like, who's actually responsible.
Yeah, again, is that him?
I
But
think
he was there.
It was him.
Yeah.
I think, based
Maybe.
on what we saw.
And if it wasn't him,
yeah,
tell us in the comments.
It was mid-presidency.
Yeah.
So unlike this Israel-Palestine thing, where it's like, who's really responsible here?
Look at that, yeah.
I think North Korea. I agree. That's one area where I thought, wow, he's done really really good.
From going to calling him Rocket Man to
Yeah, but he
actually
did. That's what I'm
crossing the
saying.
border.
He's quite smart. I think he knows what he's saying. He knows what he's doing. He knows why.
Yeah, maybe he does it because he doesn't want other politicians to feel that they can walk all over him. I don't know, because he wants America to
But
be
it's
that
part of his
powerhouse.
diplomacy tactic.
Yeah,
right?
which is not bad. Like this bullying
Yeah.
tactic. I mean, it's bad.
I
Bullying.
mean,
is
it
bad.
kind of ended. It did work though with
It
North
worked.
Korea.
I mean, it worked. To be
and they're
honest,
friends. The parent. Well, he says they're friends.
I think
now.
they're on good. I mean,
They
the
probably are on
relations
good terms.
soured. I think because Biden didn't handle it well.
But that's kind of why Trump has been so successful.
Yeah.
Because the Biden administration, particularly with foreign politics, has been very bad.
Yeah, they're not been great.
And it's quite hard for anyone really, unless you're completely ideologically driven, to really try and justify. Because I know it's not simple. Politics is a complex system and there's so many things. But, if you do look at it, wars were, things were repaired generally under Trump, foreign policy wise.
Yeah, 100%.
I think. Whereas.
That's
Yeah.
why he's probably, might be good because there's a lot of foreign policy that needs fixing right now.
But it's also about the time. Like maybe
Yeah.
Biden, that 4 year stretch of Biden's presidency just happened to be,
Yeah, I mean, I think.
again,
I will
it just
say,
goes back to we'll see.
It's interesting as well because Biden's an interesting character. I don't know if you've seen it, but his farewell speech was actually pretty good.
Yeah, because,
Considering he's not
yeah.
greatest. I mean, everyone's complaining that he's like senile or whatever.
Yeah.
But did you see?
Yeah. I mean, I think I might know roughly what you mean. I didn't see the speech, but
But it was,
he's very
he's actually articulate and he seems great. And it's like, what happened?
It's kind of like, Clinton's 2016 concession speech
Yeah.
where she's like, I want Trump to succeed,
Yeah.
rather than trying to stoke division.
That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Even if you disagree, and I disagree with a lot of things he says, it's like let's just be positive. Let's just like let's be happy. That we're happy that because that's the problem with elections. Election cycle. There's always a lot of conflict. There's always a lot of we're past that conflict now. We've it's like when you do an exam. It's stressful, but then you've done the exam and it's done, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like let's just see what happens, right? Like you can't change anything now. He's the president. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's be positive. Let's be happy. Let's spread positivity. Let's be open to change. Let's be open to new ideas, and and let's be like we can. And I think this is one thing that people don't understand for some reason. You can disagree, like what's like you can disagree well. Like you don't have
Yeah.
to. I'm trying to think what's the right word to use. But I think I think people watching know what I'm trying to say. Like you can disagree, but it doesn't have to be this big argument or just this end of the world. Like if you don't support my view, then you're an awful person. You're a fascist. Da, da, da. No, you can disagree and in a constructive way. You can disagree constructively, right? And okay, this person may have this opinion. Like we disagree on a lot of things, but it's okay. Like and that's okay because that's your own opinion.
Yeah.
And that's part of life as well. But yeah, so that's probably enough of that. Let's see what's I want to see what's happening with this.
Yeah, let's go back to this inauguration thing.
I want those two. People should have a look. There's like these two people.
It's not now though. I think it's more. It's like going to be at 4 o'clock or something.
How do you spell inauguration?
Are you sure it's not 1:55?
That's when the live stream. This joint congressional committee.
Oh, what? What is this? What is this thumbnail? C-SPAN.
Is that him? That's him taking the oath. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why maybe that's from 2016 though.
That we'll talk about for the departure, but there's plenty of people on the Supreme Court.
No,
Library
that's
of Congress
2016. It's clickbait.
that this is the moment they look forward to.
Right, because the East Front looks right onto the Library of Congress and
They're talking about
the
nonsense.
Supreme Court.
They're like-
so we've
Oh, that's a nice helicopter.
No, they're just talking about the scenery. But see, this is what I don't like. See, look at the top news. It's like, elect a clown, thousands march in DC, and it's just all this negativity.
Yeah.
It's just like, can we
It's
just? be
undeniable that the media. But hang on. Well,
positive? No, I mean I don't know.
I was about to say, what if the media is deliberately showing you this to stoke your own polarization?
Maybe,
So you think of that.
maybe. But I think it's just let's all just be more positive, because even if I don't care, to be honest. Like I think a lot of people also need to just relax as well because I know so many people who aren't even American who are so involved in American politics. It's crazy. Oh, we are. I mean, I am, right? But it's like I actually don't care who wins, right? Because it's not my country.
And Nelly are going to be at this thing.
What is this?
And I think it really, their homie.
Apparently, Snoop Dogg is performing at Trump's inauguration.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Dana White shares a message to those who
Yeah,
didn't vote
yeah.
for Trump.
Yeah, let's see what his message is. See, if his message is be positive,
If
then
his
that's
message
good.
is like, yeah, fuck you,
Then it's like, okay,
Nah,
then you know
nah.
what are we doing, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, he also made major gains among traditionally Democrat voters by
Okay.
increasing his
What is-
presence. It's absolutely insane what this man has been through. And only President Trump could have fought through all those obstacles
So Dana White's talking about
and still come out the winner.
Trump surviving and
That's just what he is.
all the obstacles with the media being against him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think his message is that bad.
Elon Musk is there as well.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
whatever.
it's all about just let's not promote division. Yeah, that's what I think, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I think so many people need to also like stay in their lane. Like I know so many like people like who live in like people we know, who are so involved in.
Yeah.
I mean, I am. I guess too. We are. I guess, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
by
It's
doing
like,
this we are,
but as in more like they care. Like
yeah, as though it's affecting them
as if
personally.
they voted. You know, it's like
Yeah.
oh they banned abortion. Yeah, but it's like you don't live there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I understand. Obviously, it's like as an overall issue.
Yeah.
But then it's like let's also just let the people who live there decide their own issues, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand there's certain things which maybe are more like an international issue. So like the foreign policy, I get that completely. If you don't like Trump's foreign policy, then that's obviously going to affect you 100%. But what he does within America, whether it be things to do with climate change or whatever it is, like that ultimately doesn't affect us, right? Like it's like
Well, it kind of does.
okay, climate change is a bad example, but maybe I guess like abortion is an example. I mean, it's a human right thing. I guess you could argue that's a global issue, but also it's
Yeah.
like it's people who live there are deciding. So in all fairness, like why does it affect? Like it's like you won't see people crying about how like there's a lack of maybe you do, as in like some like in Middle Eastern countries have like a lot of like abortion's illegal. I'm pretty sure. Is it
In the
in like Egypt or something maybe? Maybe I'm
probably,
wrong.
I don't know. Probably in
You
the Gulf
you
countries.
don't hear people crying about that. I'm saying.
No,
Or maybe you do. I don't know. But I just think some people get too worked up about issues that genuinely
because
don't affect
those are seen as countries where it's already illegal, but here it's like a Western country going backwards.
them. Okay, maybe fair enough. But they are taking it to the state though, and most of the states voted favorably.
Well, some of them didn't.
no,
Some like the some of the biggest states like Texas, which has
yeah, that's true.
after California, I think the second most electoral college seats.
Yeah, that's an interesting issue. That's a whole nother discussion. Abortion.
Mm.
But no, I think honestly, to be honest, I just think I'm of the opinion that like abortion isn't an issue that affects me. So therefore, I just I'll leave it up to the people it affects. People
Like
with
who?
people with uteruses. No, as in like I feel like it's an issue, a women's issue. Like that's not my place.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I feel. I think it's such a strange issue to have be politicized as well. Again, it makes very little sense to have that as a political issue. Like what is political about abortion? Like I don't.
But the thing is, this is kind of tricky because it's political to everyone who cares about it. Like someone on the left would say it is political because no, actually I don't know. Maybe someone on the left would agree with you and say no, it's not political. But they're saying that as a reason to oppose the argument of someone on the right who says that it is.
See, but here's my thing, because basically what I'm trying to say is that I think why are politicians who have no medical knowledge voting on issues like abortion when it should be like a general consensus of like for example other issues like assisted dying. Well, now it's become political too, I guess. But for a while,
no, actually no, because remember I said at the start on the assisted dying bill in the UK, people sort of decided on personal views rather than on party lines.
Maybe, but yeah, that's fair actually. But I'm saying like it's like abortion is a medical issue, right? It's okay whether it is safe for the mother or whatever the implications that are in abortion. So I don't understand why politicians are voting on abortion when it should just be it should be like like doctors have a consensus on what treatment to give patients, for example, right? So it's like the same concept with abortion, it should be a general medical like BMJ whatever, not BMJ, what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying, like what am I
GMC.
GMC, sorry. GMC consensus, let's say, on
okay, this is when abortion is viable, whatever. You know, there should be consensus. Why I don't understand why that has to be politicized. That's my take on the issue. Like, I just think it shouldn't be politicized.
But because the reason it's politicized is because how are you supposed to know who and how is it decided if a fetus is suffering? Also, religion comes into it.
But it's so silly because, yeah. But then I'm saying you have people who are religious, like Jehovah's Witness, who deny, who aren't in favor of blood transfusions. But you don't have blood transfusions being a political issue.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, to be honest. Some things just end up becoming political, and some things don't.
Yeah, maybe I don't. Maybe if you feel strongly, type in the comments. Tell me why. Maybe tell me why.
I'm sure a lot of people feel strongly.
Yeah, a lot of people. No, I think a lot of people feel strongly. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying, well, if maybe there's a reason why it should be a political issue, but I don't see why it should be a political issue. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think it should be like any other medical procedure.
I mean, when you say politics, at the end of the day, politics is just a bunch of people arguing, right?
But I'm saying the idea that there's it seems to be like whatever the medical consensus is on abortion, they don't care. It's about what
people get emotional about.
Yeah,
abortion.
right,
That's
right.
why it's a political.
But I'm saying like, this is for people in the comments, we get engagement. Like, do you think it should be it should be something that we should discuss and vote on, and people should vote on it and based upon like religious beliefs, and or do you think it should be like any other medical procedure, like cesarean section, for example, right?
Yeah.
Which you could argue that there is religious, I think, implications that people aren't in favor of cesarean section because
Is there?
Yeah, because it's not a natural birth. I think it's Scientologists. We're making this up, but there's some sect of some religion which is against cesarean section because it's not a natural birth. Like, a natural birth has to be through our cesarean section, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah, but no. Anyway, but I'm saying, like, or should abortion be like that kind of issue where it's very much just a medical consensus? Like, this is the consensus on abortion, and the consensus being, is there like a certain week where it's safe, is there a certain week where it's not safe, etc. Like, should it be just a medical consensus, or should it be an issue that we vote on? Like I don't know, what is something we vote on? Like, you know, climate change or congestion charge or something like that. Like, should it be that kind of issue? Something we should get people to talk to discuss in the comments. But yeah, and then what else? Oh yeah, any big topic you wanted to mention?
Syria.
Yeah,
That's something that was on our list.
so because I know that's your actually just tell everyone, just tell everyone where you're from.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Kurdish, so obviously I have my stakes in the Syria conflict. I saw Trump talk about Syria,
Oh yeah.
and when he said, I told Erdogan to protect the Kurds, I was like, yeah!
Oh, that's
My
good.
God.
No, because I know you guys are really want to have your own country,
Yeah,
and so I know that's been very difficult. To
and
achieve.
now all the Turkish viewers are going to be alienated in 5 seconds.
No. I mean, look.
Yeah, I mean, look, my opinion is we were supposed to have a country, and Turkey invaded and stole our land.
Yeah, and do you think you're gonna get a country soon, or do you think that's not something? That's
I think it's
achievable?
actually a possibility with the way that geopolitics is operating.
Yeah.
Iran
think-
is weakened,
Yeah.
Turkey is turning anti-Western,
Yeah.
and Syria and Iraq, we already have our own territory.
Because I think those areas, obviously there's a lot of conflict because the borders were drawn by Western
Yeah.
leaders.
They drew in a Kurdistan, but they had to renegotiate when Turkey invaded.
Yeah, and those borders don't align with, like, I've seen this map, and even the same in Africa as well. Where
No, they don't align with
with
ethnicities,
religious groups or ethnic groups or anything like that. So
No.
that's why there's so much conflict, because you have people who are stuck. Like, Kurdistan is in 3 countries or something. 4
Four
countries.
countries.
Like Turkey, Iraq, Syria, right?
And Iran.
And Iran, yeah. And it's like, that's just obviously going to cause problems, right?
Mm.
You know, so, but yeah, so I mean, hopefully, you know, that could be, because so they removed Assad, and you know, that's positive. A lot of people have.
Well, he was a very, very bad person. I've talked to some. Most people, very few people really thought he should have stayed. But I was talking to some ultra religious people who, for some reason, think that Saddam Hussein was good, but Assad was bad. Because Saddam Hussein was a Sunni.
Oh, because there's
Assad is Shia or something.
what's the difference between Sunni and Shia?
There's sects of Islam. So Sunni is
yeah.
like the majority sect, and then some are Shia. And it basically goes back to a long time ago, like very early Islam. Like the first caliphates, like someone said that it should be Prophet Muhammad's son, and then someone said it should be like his best friend, and then some stuff happened, and then they created like these two.
So it's a bit
sects.
like Protestant and Catholic or something.
Not really, because Protestantism emerged out of
Okay.
mainstream Christianity, which was just Catholicism.
So this is more like there's
There's
like a
split.
diverge. In,
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. And what are you? You're
I'm Sunni.
Sunni, and that's the more common.
That is the more common one.
And Shia is like where is that in the world?
Iran,
Iran.
near the coast side of Syria, which is like Assad's
Yeah.
ethnicity and religion. A few other places dotted around, like some in Bahrain. I think but the majority of Bahrain is actually Shia.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think my dad used to work there, so I think he remember telling me
Yeah.
that. But yeah, so it's interesting. So you think it's gonna be looking up for that region now that Assad's gone.
It's possible, yeah. And obviously Turkey is funding the new government of Syria. There's actually...
That's bad, right? No.
Well, kind of. It is bad because they're being sort of... Obviously, since they're being funded by Turkey, now their main enemy is the Kurdish forces. But the US has 2,000 troops in Kurdish areas, which is the one thing which is keeping us safe, as it were.
Do you think they're gonna pull out like they pulled out from?
Yeah, they pulled out. Trump pulled out last time, and he said the Kurds are not angels. And then this time,
what's he saying then?
now he's saying, "Oh, I told Erdogan to protect the Kurds."
Oh man, I know because I don't think he gets along with Netanyahu. Does he?
Who?
Trump doesn't get along with the Netanyahu or any of those leaders really.
Well, yeah, it doesn't seem like he gets along with anyone.
I mean, I feel like he.
No, but I mean, he has
They
that
respect
rough
him, but
diplomacy with
he
everyone.
has that rough. They don't like him, but they listen to him. I think that's potentially. But no, I think it'd be interesting to see what happens in that region because since I can remember, there's just been conflict. It's just such a shame because it's a beautiful area as well. And
Yeah, it's quite a nice area, but I mean,
I've been to Bahrain,
mm,
and I've been to Turkey, but I haven't been to any other places. But I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I don't know. I think. So you think are you feeling positive about it? You think this 2025 onwards? It's gonna be...
I hope that good things are gonna come.
Kurdistan
Not just in the
can
Middle
come,
East,
yeah.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Geopolitically.
Geopolitically.
And then, I mean, even with Ukraine and Russia, we'll
Yeah.
see.
That could be interesting because that conflict started during Biden's presidency, and I
Yeah.
think Trump was.
Not happy with the way Biden handled
No,
it.
I think Trump is good with Putin, from what I understand. Because they're both big personalities, big leaders.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he might be able to keep him in check. He might not be able to. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Because again, there's no need for all that conflict. I feel there's surely a way out around that. But I guess. I'm trying to see how long has it been?
1 hour 9. Can you not see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I'm just darn blind. Wait, let's see.
Astigmatism.
Any big topics we're thinking about? Oh yes, Squid Game, season 2 came out. Should I do it? No, should I do the thing?
What's the thing?
I'm a legend, Thanos. No, I'm not gonna do that. Someone's gonna clip
You
this.
just did it.
No, okay, it's like I'm a legend, Thanos. I like you. Okay, that's not going anywhere.
What is this like?
It's like because
It's
basically,
very cleverly.
because he's called Thanos and he's
Yeah.
painted his nails like the colors of the Infinity Stones.
Oh.
So he goes up to the girl and he's like, "I'm Legend Thanos. I like you," and then he does like the when Thanos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then spoiler alert, she dies like 10 minutes later.
Doesn't he push her?
No, he put no.
He tells her there's a bee.
No,
in
there's
her
a bee.
hair.
Yeah,
Everyone's
and then-
seen the
yeah,
trailer.
yeah, and then she gets shot, and then he pushes the other people because he's angry, and then but he's a funny character. Though.
Yeah, he sounds like a terrible person.
Yeah, he's not great.
Why
But-
did he sacrifice the girl he said he liked?
He didn't know. No, because basically they didn't believe that they'd get killed if they moved.
Oh.
So basically,
okay,
so he was like,
Mm.
and I think he was trying to riz as well. He was like, "Oh, you're such a pretty flower. There's a bee on you or something." And then she was like, "What? There's a bee?" And then she just bugs out, and then she gets shot.
Okay.
And it's just like, whoa. It's such a stupid show. Honestly, I love it, but I hate it at the same time because it makes no sense. Like the guy who won last season just comes back to just play it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, there's a 1 in 456 chance of you winning, right? There's like now 1 in like 800 chance. Well, that's not how it works. But I don't know. But you know what I mean?
The
Like,
VIP spared him.
I don't know. This guy's just.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but no, it's a decent show. I guess the show has like this underlining meaning of like capitalism because they have this like bowl of money.
Yeah.
And every time someone dies, like some more money gets
All
thrown.
these
to them.
indebted people.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like they justify the killing because it's like they value money over their own life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's interesting. It's a weird show to be honest. I feel like, but it's good. I feel like that's why I like. I've been watching a lot of like what do you call K-drama? I don't know.
K-dramas.
K-drama, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like I feel like that stuff is good because they have like a different way of storytelling. I think it's more I feel there's more characterization, maybe. I could be wrong. I started watching this
Like Trump.
what?
What do you mean, characterization?
No, as in like the characters are more defined and well explored.
So like Trump.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like no. Oh my god. No, but isn't like you know what I mean? Like I started watching this one which was like a zombie show. It was like a it was quite interesting actually, like because I feel like I watched the one with Brad Pitt, like World War Z. Have you ever watched that?
I think so.
It's like Brad Pitt is like killing zombies and it's just such a boring film. Like I think Brad Pitt's a pretty good actor, but that film is not it. But then some of the K-drama stuff was quite interesting actually. I thought they do a good job. I think it's the only thing I don't like is we watch it subtitled. But even then I don't know because
You don't get the full
you don't get
flavour.
the full meaning, right? But then because the dub is awful because the dub is just because they try to say what they're saying in the same time, and a lot.
Oh yeah, no. I would always prefer sub to.
And a lot of those because I studied Mandarin in GCSE. Like they able to get their point across much faster than Western languages are. Because they have like the characters they mean like a word. And I think so it's like so basically when they dub it is they don't have enough time to say what they've actually said. So then they land up just like paraphrasing what they say.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't really get the full meaning and it just kind of sounds crap. So, but yeah, no, I mean I don't know. I think yes, it's a good show. Watch it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Should we wrap it up? What do you think?
Yeah, we could wrap it up actually.
It's a good length, 1 hour.
Doesn't seem like there's much else to be.
And because now we're gonna post regularly once a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So next week we'll be here again. 1 hour. It's the longest podcast. Tucked In Podcast. We're gonna get more socials. Sort our socials out.
Be Instagram and whatever.
Get some clips. But yeah, I just thanks a lot if you made it this far and.
For the true viewers.
Yeah, the true ones.
The real fans.
ones. You don't just click off after.
Yeah, there was surprisingly 20-30 people
Yeah, who watched the full
yeah, thing.
Appreciate you
That
guys.
is very surprising.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, let's wait. Hold on, wait. We need to get a thumbname.
We need to get
okay, so we're gonna put a picture of Trump here and put the circle because it's it. Oh yeah, hold on. We need to do the thumbnail. You ready?
Are you serious?
No, because otherwise it's gonna go viral. Like, cause it's his inauguration. People who search at Trump inauguration, our video comes up, and then, okay, so okay, it's gonna be like this. Okay.
I can't make this.
Wait, let me do that one. Okay, that's good. That's perfect.
That's good.
That's perfect. All right, see you guys in the next one.
Oh.